The vast emptiness of space held its breath as the massive Confederation scout ship approached the small blue planet. Commander Krell studied the holographic display, his scaled fingers tracing the orbital patterns of Earth with a mixture of curiosity and mild contempt. "Another primitive world," he muttered to his second-in-command, Vorn. The ship's advanced sensors swept across the planet's surface, collecting data that had become routine for their species over centuries of galactic exploration. Park Junho sat in his research facility on the outskirts of Seoul, completely unaware of the alien eyes watching his planet. The young scientist was reviewing atmospheric data, his coffee growing cold, beside a stack of scattered research papers. Outside, the city hummed with its usual morning energy, people rushing to work, traffic moving in organized chaos. Aboard the alien vessel, complex algorithms began processing Earth's technological capabilities. The initial report was almost laughable. Primitive nuclear technology, rudimentary space exploration limited to a single moon landing, and communication systems that seemed painfully slow by Confederation standards. "Recommendation?" Vorn asked, his reptilian eyes reflecting the holographic data. Krell's response was immediate. "Resource extraction, Category 3 planet, minimal resistance expected." What the aliens didn't understand was the unique nature of human potential. Their scans missed the intangible qualities that made humans extraordinary: adaptability, unpredictability, and an almost relentless spirit of survival. In a small military monitoring station, Kim Yeji reviewed early morning satellite feeds. Something flickered on her screen, an anomaly that didn't match any known satellite or space debris signature. Her hand moved instinctively to the communication panel, her training kicking in before her conscious mind could fully process the information. The alien ship began its initial approach using advanced cloaking technology that had subdued countless civilizations before. They expected a routine mission: scan, assess, prepare for extraction. Standard procedure for a species they considered little more than potential labor resources. Junho's research computer suddenly picked up an unusual electromagnetic pulse. Most scientists would have dismissed it, but something made him pause. He zoomed in, recalibrated his sensors, and felt a chill run down his spine. Aboard the alien vessel, Krell reviewed the final approach calculations. "Initiate preliminary scan," he commanded. "Prepare initial landing protocols." They were about to make a mistake that would change galactic history forever. The first hint of trouble came when their advanced scanning systems began to encounter unexpected resistance. Small, almost imperceptible disruptions in their data streams, like tiny immune responses from a living system. Kim Yeji's fingers flew across her communication panels. Within moments, specialized military communication channels began to light up. No panic, no chaos, just precise, calculated movement. Junho's research took on a sudden urgency. He wasn't just collecting data anymore. He was documenting something unprecedented. The electromagnetic anomalies were developing a pattern, a complex, almost intelligent response that defied standard scientific explanation. Krell noticed the first warning signs. Their scanning systems were being watched, not blocked, not disrupted, but carefully observed. It was a subtle difference that made his cold blood run slightly colder. "Something's wrong," Vorn muttered, his long fingers dancing across complex navigation panels. The aliens had encountered thousands of civilizations. They had subjugated hundreds, extracted resources from countless worlds. But they had never met humans. As their ship completed its final approach vector, something unexpected happened. The planet below didn't just wait. It seemed to be preparing. Humanity's first true test was about to begin. The first alien landing pods pierced Earth's atmosphere like silent daggers, their advanced stealth technology designed to avoid detection. Commander Krell believed the invasion would be swift and clean, a routine resource extraction mission that would be completed before humans could even comprehend what was happening. David Rodriguez, a seasoned UN Rapid Response Team leader, was drinking coffee in a Tokyo monitoring station when the first anomalous readings appeared. His military training had taught him to trust his instincts, and right now, Those instincts were screaming something was terribly wrong. The alien pods descended, with calculated precision, targeting strategic locations across different continents. Military bases, research centers, and major communication hubs were their primary objectives. Each pod carried specialized extraction units designed to neutralize potential resistance quickly and efficiently. Elena Kim, sitting in a global defense coordination center, watched the initial sensor readings with a calm that belied the potential catastrophe unfolding. Her fingers moved across holographic displays, connecting global defense networks with a speed that would have impressed even the most advanced alien technology. The first pod landed in a remote area near Seoul. Alien troops, biomechanical warriors, designed for quick and efficient conquest, emerged with weapons that could disintegrate matter at the molecular level. Their metallic exoskeletons gleamed in the early morning light, a testament to technological superiority they had demonstrated countless times across the galaxy. What they didn't understand was the human capacity for rapid adaptation. Within minutes of the first landing, Rodriguez had already initiated global communication protocols. No panic, no chaos, just precise, calculated response. Military units around the world began moving with a coordinated efficiency that surprised the alien invasion force. The aliens' first mistake was assuming human technology was primitive. Their scans had missed the complex networks, the quantum computing projects, and the innovative defense systems that had been quietly developing in research facilities around the world. At a research facility in Seoul, a team of scientists led by a young researcher began analyzing the alien landing. Data. They weren't just collecting information, they were understanding the technological principles behind the invasion. Alien Tactical Officer Vorn watched the initial invasion progress with growing confusion. The humans weren't responding like other civilizations they had conquered. There was no mass panic, no complete breakdown of social structures. Instead, there was a calculated, almost predatory response. Military bases around the world transformed from potential targets to fortified positions within hours. Communication networks that the aliens expected to disrupt remained frustratingly operational. Worse, they seemed to be actively gathering intelligence about the invaders. In Tokyo, Rodriguez coordinated a global response that would have been impossible just a decade earlier. Satellite networks, military communication channels, and emergency response systems worked in a harmony that surprised even the most optimistic military planners. The alien landing pods encountered their first real resistance not from military weapons but from something far more unexpected: human creativity and adaptability. Specialized drone units were deployed not to fight, but to observe and analyze. Each alien movement was recorded, studied, and integrated into a rapidly developing counter-strategy. The humans weren't just defending, they were learning. Elena Kim's global defense team began developing targeted electromagnetic pulses designed to interfere with alien technology. What would have taken months of research was being accomplished in hours, driven by a collective human determination that the aliens had never encountered before. Commander Krell watched the invasion progress with growing concern. This wasn't following any standard conquest scenario in their extensive galactic database. The humans were responding with a complexity that defied their understanding. By the end of the first day, what was supposed to be a simple resource extraction mission had turned into something entirely different. The aliens had landed on Earth expecting an easy conquest. Instead, they found themselves facing a species that refused to be categorized, controlled, or easily defeated. Humanity's true nature was about to be revealed. The world's most advanced research facilities transformed overnight into war rooms of technological innovation. Michael Lee, a cyber warfare specialist with eyes that never seemed to leave his multiple computer screens, began the most critical operation of human history. Alien technology was complex, but not impenetrable. Lee understood something the invaders didn't. Human curiosity was humanity's most potent weapon. Within hours, his team began dissecting captured alien communication protocols, developing methods to infiltrate their most secure networks. Sarah Park stood in a quantum computing center, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. She wasn't just analyzing alien technology, she was reimagining it. Complex algorithms began breaking down alien technological principles, revealing vulnerabilities that the invaders couldn't imagine possible. The alien research director, Trell, watched in growing horror as human technological adaptation occurred at an impossible speed. Their invasion database had never encountered a species that could reverse engineer advanced technology so quickly. One research facility in Seoul managed to crack the first layer of alien communication encryption in less than 12 hours. What should have taken years happened in mere moments, driven by a collective human determination that defied all alien expectations. Quantum computing networks across the globe began working in synchronized harmony. Universities, research centers, and military facilities shared information faster than the aliens could process. Each captured alien device became a treasure trove of technological potential. Michael Lee's team developed a breakthrough that would change the entire invasion dynamic. They created a sophisticated virus that could penetrate alien computer systems, not by destroying them, but by understanding and manipulating them from within. The aliens had specific technological principles built into their systems, hierarchical, rigid, and designed for absolute control. Human technology, by contrast, was messy, adaptive, and fundamentally unpredictable. Sarah Park's quantum decryption team discovered something remarkable. The alien technological infrastructure had critical weaknesses built into its core design. Their systems were so focused on efficiency that they had eliminated critical redundancy and adaptability. Alien communication networks began experiencing unexplained disruptions. At first, these were minor, a slight delay in transmission, a momentary signal interference. But these small disruptions were deliberate human interventions, probing and testing alien technological limits. Research facilities around the world transformed into front-line technological battlegrounds. Young scientists who had previously worked on theoretical research now found themselves at the cutting edge of humanity's survival strategy. The aliens' first mistake was believing technology was about raw computational power. They didn't understand that human innovation came from something far more complex: creativity, intuition, and an ability to think beyond established parameters. Trell's monitoring systems began showing increasingly alarming data. Human technological adaptation was occurring at an exponential rate. What should have taken decades was happening in days, challenging everything the Confederation understood about technological development. Michael Lee's final breakthrough came unexpectedly. By understanding the fundamental communication principles of alien technology, his team developed a method to not just intercept, but actively manipulate alien communication networks. Quantum entanglement principles, previously theoretical, were now being practically applied. Human researchers were literally rewriting the rules of technological engagement, turning the aliens' most advanced systems into potential vulnerabilities. The global research effort was unlike anything in human history. Competition was replaced by collaboration. Universities, tech companies, military research centers all worked with a singular purpose. The survival of the species was at stake. Sarah Park looked up from her research terminal, a slight smile crossing her face. They weren't just defending anymore. They were preparing to go on the offensive. The aliens had come to Earth expecting a simple resource extraction. Instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous, a species with an unlimited capacity for technological innovation, driven by an unbreakable spirit of survival. Humanity was no longer just resisting. They were preparing to fight back. The human understanding of psychological warfare was about to redefine extraterrestrial conflict forever. Jason Wong, a specialist in psychological operations, understood something profound about human nature. Fear was a weapon more powerful than any technology. His team began developing strategies that would make the aliens question their very existence. The first psychological attack came through unexpected channels. Global media networks, instead of showing panic, broadcasted calm, calculated messages. News anchors spoke with a chilling precision that suggested humanity was not just surviving, but preparing to counterattack. Olivia Choi's intelligence team discovered the aliens' fundamental psychological weakness: Their collective consciousness worked like a massive, interconnected neural network. This meant they could be manipulated through carefully designed information streams. Commander Krell first noticed the strange disruptions during their invasion progress. Human communication didn't follow any standard invasion response pattern. There was no mass hysteria, no complete societal breakdown. Instead, there was a calculated, almost predatory preparation. Specialized frequency generators were developed to target the aliens' neural communication networks. These weren't just electromagnetic disruptions. They were precisely crafted psychological triggers designed to create confusion, doubt, and internal conflict within the alien collective. The humans broadcast specific sound frequencies that caused inexplicable psychological disturbances among alien troops. These weren't traditional weapons, but something far more sophisticated: psychological manipulation at a technological level. Military strategists realized that breaking alien morale was more effective than destroying their physical infrastructure. Each broadcast was a carefully designed psychological operation meant to introduce doubt, confusion, and internal questioning. Global media began showing something unprecedented: humans treating the invasion as an inconvenience rather than an existential threat. News reports discussed alien invasion strategies with a clinical detachment that was more terrifying than any aggressive response. Jason Wong's team developed complex disinformation campaigns. They leaked strategic information that made the aliens question their own invasion protocols. Some transmissions suggested human technological capabilities were far beyond what the aliens had detected, while others implied massive hidden military preparations. Alien communication networks began experiencing strange psychological interference. Troops reported hearing human languages in their communication channels, sometimes threatening, sometimes mockingly casual, always designed to create maximum psychological tension. Olivia Choi's intelligence analysis revealed something remarkable. The aliens had never encountered a species that could weaponize information and psychology so effectively. Human unpredictability became their most potent weapon. Strategic media broadcasts showed human cities continuing normal operations despite the ongoing invasion. Children played in parks, businesses remained open, and daily life continued with an almost insulting normalcy. This psychological approach suggested humans viewed the invasion as a temporary inconvenience. The aliens' collective consciousness began experiencing unprecedented internal conflicts. Their rigid hierarchical structure, which had conquered countless civilizations, started showing critical vulnerabilities when faced with human psychological tactics. Commander Krell watched in growing horror as his invasion force began experiencing unexplained psychological breakdowns. Troops reported hearing voices, experiencing collective hallucinations, and questioning the very purpose of their mission. Human psychological warfare teams were doing something unprecedented. They were fighting a war not just with technology, but with perception, information, and calculated psychological manipulation. Each broadcast, each carefully designed communication stream, was a weapon more powerful than any physical armament. The humans weren't just defending, they were systematically dismantling the aliens' psychological infrastructure. The invasion was no longer about technological superiority. It had transformed into a battle of psychological resilience, and humanity was proving to be an opponent unlike anything the aliens had ever encountered. Commander Krell realized something terrifying. They weren't just fighting a military conflict. They were facing a species that could turn fear, information, and psychological manipulation into the most advanced weapon in the universe. Humanity had just redefined the concept of warfare. The final stage of humanity's defense began with an unexpected calm. Daniel Kim, global military coordinator, understood that victory wasn't about destruction, but complete strategic dominance. Alien command structures began crumbling from within. Their invasion force, once considered invincible, now resembled a confused mechanical organism losing its central programming. Each alien unit started questioning the very mission they had traveled light years to complete. Rachel Park stood in the United Nations Emergency Command Center, coordinating a global response that would become legendary. Her diplomatic skills transformed the invasion from a potential extinction event into humanity's defining moment. The first complete alien communication network collapse happened surprisingly quietly. No massive explosions, no dramatic battles. Just a systematic breakdown of their technological and psychological infrastructure. Humanity had turned the aliens' most advanced systems into their own weapons. Global military units moved with a precision that shocked the alien leadership. Every movement was calculated, every strategy developed through complex quantum computing, simulations. The humans weren't just defending, they were methodically dismantling the invasion. Specialized electromagnetic pulses targeted alien technological vulnerabilities. Research teams had discovered that the aliens' advanced technology had a critical weakness. Their entire network operated on an interconnected system that could be systematically disrupted. The Alien Leadership Council watched in growing terror as their invasion force transformed from a conquering army to a confused collection of units. Human psychological warfare had done what no physical weapon could. It had destroyed their collective will. Daniel Kim's strategy was brutally simple. Don't destroy the invaders completely. Make them understand that humanity was a force beyond their comprehension. Each military action was designed to demonstrate human potential rather than simple destructive capability. Quantum communication networks allowed humanity to coordinate a global response faster than the aliens could process. Universities, military facilities, and research centers worked in a synchronized dance of technological and strategic innovation. The final blow came not from weapons, but from information. Humanity began broadcasting detailed analyses of the alien invasion strategy to the entire galactic community. They weren't just defending, they were exposing the invaders' fundamental weaknesses. Rachel Park's diplomatic team prepared communication streams that would be received by other potential alien civilizations. The message was clear. Humanity was not a species to be underestimated. Alien landing units began experiencing mass psychological breakdowns. Their troops, once confident of victory, now questioned every aspect of their mission. The human ability to create doubt had become a weapon more powerful than any physical technology. Global media covered the invasion's collapse with a calm that would become legendary. News anchors discussed the alien retreat as if it were a minor, international incident, further destroying the invaders' psychological infrastructure. The Alien Leadership Council made their final decision: complete withdrawal. What had started as a simple resource extraction mission had transformed into a complete strategic disaster. Daniel Kim watched the alien retreat with a calm that belied the magnitude of humanity's victory. They hadn't just defended their planet, they had demonstrated a level of adaptability that would change galactic understanding forever. Rachel Park prepared the first official communication to the retreating alien force. It wasn't a message of triumph, but a clinical, almost casual acknowledgement of their defeat. The last alien ships left Earth's orbit, carrying with them a fundamental understanding. Humanity was not just another planetary civilization. They were a species that could turn any invasion into a lesson about technological and psychological resilience. Humanity had not just survived. They had redefined the very concept of interstellar conflict. As the alien fleet disappeared into the vast darkness of space, one message became clear. Earth was not a planet to be conquered. It was a warning to any civilization that might consider such a foolish endeavor. The humans had become the true apex predators of the galaxy,